watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, I want to discuss a few things that seems to slip by the wayside. What happened to the uproar with the WBA mandating Anthony Joshua to stop negotiations with Deontay Wilder and have a 24-hour deadline to make the fight signed, sealed, and delivered with Alexander Povetkin. They gave him 24 hours or he will be stripped. Well, I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that was last Tuesday. And I'm talking to you at 12:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. July 3rd, on a Tuesday, 1 week from the stipulations and the stoppage of the negotiations between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. We are exactly 1 week from that date where they handed down the harsh, stand on their square, you have to make the Alexander Povetkin fight within 24 hours or you will be stripped. That's what they said. That's what was said. That was June 26th, ladies and gentlemen, when the WBA came down with this stipulations that Alexander Povetkin versus Anthony Joshua had to have a deal signed, sealed, and delivered within 24 hours or Anthony Joshua will be stripped. That was June 26th. Today is July 3rd. So we're exactly 1 week from the day they handed down these stipulations. So that would make it, I guess, 168 is the new 24. And if that 168 goes over your head, that's 7 times 24 equals 168. They gave him a 24-hour deadline. Now we're at 168 hours into the negotiation, into the deadline. And Anthony Joshua has yet to sign to fight Alexander Povetkin. He's yet to be stripped of his WBA title. There is no venue set. I've just read something that said that Eddie Hearn is still trying to set in stone Wembley Stadium for September 22nd. So there's no contract signed. There's no venue official. There's no strippage of the title. But yet the negotiations were forced and rushed to make happen within 24 hours. And negotiations with Deontay Wilder had to come to an end because the WBA said that if Anthony Joshua didn't sign, seal, and deliver them a contract with Alexander Povetkin, that he would be stripped. Well, he still has the titles. There's no contract signed. Actually, they just signed yesterday for voluntary VADA testing. So they just signed yesterday on Monday, 6 days after they handed down these stern stipulations. And they just now signing the VADA testing, the arrangement for the VADA, for the drug and urine testing. Blood, drug, urine, whatever. They just now did that 6 days after they handed down this punishment. The or else. They handed down the or else 6 days prior to them even signing for urine, for the drug, for the VADA testing. And now, we're 7 days in, and they still don't have a contract signed. They don't even have a venue solidified and official. They said Eddie Hearn is still looking at September 22nd, and it still could be September 29th. So what happened to the 24 hours? I guess, you know, when Jay-Z said, 40 is the new 30. I guess 168 is the new 24. 168 is the new 24. Man, this is ridiculous. So the negotiations, see, Deontay Wilder and his team, Shelly Finkel, they said that they would have a contract back to them Friday. Friday being the 29th. Now we at July 3rd. They handed down the 24-hour stipulation, and they could have had the contract signed, sealed, and delivered with Deontay Wilder on the 29th. They handed down this punishment, the or else, on the 26th. Right? On the 26th. So now today is the 3rd. So we could have had the fight with Deontay Wilder signed, sealed, and delivered, and be looking forward to it and be ready and be talking about that fight. But yet, Alexander Povetkin versus Anthony Joshua is still not signed, but the WBA acted like there was a fire. And when I say there's a fire, I always use this phrase. When somebody's in a rush, I always say, where's the fire? You know, firefighters are in a rush to get to the fire. So I always say, where's the fire? What's the rush? In other words, I mean, what's the rush? So with the WBA, where's the fire? Because there is no fire. There never was a fire. It was a false alarm. It was a false alarm, people. And we could have had Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua signed, sealed, and delivered on the June 29th, 2018. But yet here we are, July 3rd, 2018, and the WBA said that it was ordered that they sign, seal, and deliver Alexander Povetkin or be stripped. And yet we're a week away, exactly a week to the day, and nobody's been stripped and there's no contract signed. Also, too, you know, another thing, everybody likes to complain. You know, I heard Tony Bellew. I heard other fighters come out and say that Luis King Kong Ortiz was an old fighter. But by the time, I just want to bring this to the light. By the time Alexander Povetkin and Anthony Joshua fight, do you know that Alexander Povetkin will be 39 years of age? How come nobody's talking about that? Alexander Povetkin will be 39 years of age. He was born September 2nd, 1979. Don't let that go over your head, people. See, Luis King Kong Ortiz his age was jotted down as 38. Well, we know Alexander Povetkin is 39 years old. Let's say the fight takes place September 22nd. His birthday is September 2nd. So he'd be 39, 20 days in. He'd be 20 days into his 39th birthday. So he would have fought a 39-year-old Alexander Povetkin and a 40-plus-year-old Vladimir Klitschko. But you're telling me that his resume is better than Deontay Wilder's. And when Deontay Wilder was scheduled to fight Alexander Povetkin was 35 years old, 36 years old. 36 years old. And he popped dirty. That's why the fight didn't happen. Deontay Wilder was already touched down in Russia. That's why the fight didn't happen. And he would have been, he was 35 going on 36 years old. Now Anthony Joshua's fighting him. Then they're 3 to 4 years later, and he's 39 years old by the time the fight takes place. So now we will have Anthony Joshua have fought in 3 Vladimir Klitschko, who has been 40 plus, and Alexander Povetkin, who's 39 years old. So we can't give him credit according to everybody's standards, right? We can't really give, they like to discredit Deontay Wilder win over Luis Ortiz because Luis Ortiz was an old man. So Alexander Povetkin is 39 years old. Vladimir Klitschko is 40 plus years old. So we can't give him credit for those fights, right? And how come nobody's kicking and screaming about Anthony Joshua fighting a 39-year-old Alexander Povetkin? We already know why. We already know what it is. So the WBA now is claiming 168 is the new 24. 168, and when I say 168, for everybody that missed it, it's 24 times 7 equals 168. Because it's 7 days away. That was 7 days prior when they ordered that Anthony Joshua make the fight between Alexander Povetkin or be stripped and stop the negotiations with Deontay Wilder, because according to WBA, they are tired of the ongoing saga of Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua negotiations. But that's all I got for y'all. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. Shouts out to the whole LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media, bro. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
The Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the Empress. Much love. Mwah.